see all of you. And especially, is Mrs. McDaniel still out there? Let's give her a nice round of applause. That's the companyist in all of America. Thank you. Having spent almost 20 years in this building as a student and as a teacher, I've got to tell you, I feel like you all are my extended family, and it really is like coming back home. And I'm proud of the fact that I was a student here and a teacher here, and it gives me a great deal of pride to be invited back to say a few words to you today, and they will be few. My career as a junior high student started here in this building in 1957. I had to look to make sure. It's been so long. The old Washington Junior High School was closed, and so we had 2 years that we spent as students in this building. And so in 1959, we came in as freshmen, and the Howard Junior High was finished, and so we were once again the babies of the group as freshmen in high school. As you can imagine, we were considered babies by the older students, and our parents were really concerned when we were in the junior high because they were kind of afraid of what might happen to us with all these older students around us. Well, after we graduated in 1963, some of us who went on to Centerville Community College at the time spent 2 more years in this building as students. So we ended up with 8 years at Centerville High School. You know what that really means? All of you are a lot smarter and a lot better than we were. You're getting out of here in 4 years. We got out in 8. I think one of the funniest stories of all, though, was when my wife Linda, who's here today, who came from Moravia High School, was in the hallway going to one of her junior college classes. She went up the stairs and she was headed up, and we had a teacher by the name of Mrs. Greenbank, and she saw my wife chewing gum. And you didn't do that in the halls of CHS in those days. She gave Linda detention for chewing gum as a college student. They were wonderful years. They were precious years. One significant memory I have when I was here as a student and a teacher was coming to this assembly for all those years and watching the speaker, especially for the 50-year class, make their way up to the speaker's stand at the lectern to give the remarks. And I remember thinking, my gosh, they look ancient. I'm not sure they're going to make it up there. And I can tell you now, as the representative of the 50-year class, I am ancient, and I may need some help getting back down there. I have lots of help, I can tell right there. One of the things, a couple of things I wanted to leave you with today that I thought might be helpful, that along the 50 years that I've been able to glean because of the wonderful people who've crossed my path and who gave me the guidance that I needed. One of them was the keys to the future, and they said, Dave, there are 7 things I want you to remember, and I'm sharing them with you today because when I became a superintendent of schools and some of the other things I did in my life, these all molded and guided me. One was, don't let your parents down. They brought you up. 2, choose your friends with care. You become what they are. 3, be the master of your habits and your body, or they will master you. Treasure your time and your health. Don't waste them. Invest them. 5, stand up for something or you'll fall for anything. 6, guard your thoughts. What you think, you are. 7, give respect to others and they will respect you. One final quick story about a gentleman who probably gave me the best advice of all. And it was built around the theme of and then some. 3 words. And he said it quite well when he said, what made him successful was when he was a young man in school, he did what the teachers asked of him, and then some. And then when he took his first job, he listened to the boss, he did what the boss said, and then some. And then finally, when he had his own store, his own business, he listened to his customers, he did what they asked of him, and then some. I think today, if and then some becomes a part of our daily life, then we can be known for that and be a part of our success with all of the people with whom we have contact. On behalf of the class of 1963, I wish to extend a thank you, special thank you, to the staff, to the students and the parents for inviting us to come home. Your kindness will always be our special memory. 50 years ago at Homecoming, the Big Red football team played Fort Madison, and we beat them 14-7 on a rain-soaked field. And some of them are still here, are here today as a part of the assembly. I'd like to have the members of that football team that are with us today, please stand. I'd like to also have all the members of the class of 1963 to please stand as well, so you can recognize them for being a strong part of the Thank you. Tonight, we know the team will give Fort Madison more than they can handle, and then some. Go Big Red!